Yes, that's right. PSA have damaged my trophy card. Not only did they damage it, they lied about the fact that they have damaged it. The proof they have given me actually proves that they have in fact damaged the card. Now, this is the card here. It's the Alice Springfest Regional Champion card, and this was my first ever trophy card, so this was extremely frustrating to happen. Now, bear in mind, this damage isn't substantial. Personally, I don't think it would have even changed the grade, but it still is extremely frustrating that you send them a card to be graded and encapsulated and it comes back in worse condition than you send it. So let's look into it. I will show you the card before I sent it and the card as it returned. Luckily, I sort of had these images of the card before I sent it. So a little bit of whitening there in the top right hand corner. So let's zoom in, and I've already positioned this in a way that we can just replace it with the card that as it came back after the return, and you can see the difference. It's not huge, but it's still extremely disappointing when this was the first ever trophy card I've owned in any TCG. So to send this and it come back in worse condition is very disheartening, to be honest. So there it is. That is how it came back. As you can see, the whitening is clearly longer, and not only that, it's also got this extra bit of whitening here. That is whitening on there. These marks here are literally just like dust and bits on the case, but that is an extra bit of whitening next to it as well. So quite clearly, this is not the condition that I sent the card in. Now, I sent this in on Express, which is a $150 tier. Takes 5 days for them to grade it and return it, and it is for cards up to the value of $2,500 US, which is, at the time of sending it, the card was worth about $2,000. So that was why I used the correct tier, because that was the value of the card. Now, I still was expecting potentially it would get PSA 9 with this whitening here. So the fact it's still a PSA 9, yeah, I honestly, I don't think it makes much of a difference. It's just the fact that it's just not the same condition that I sent it in. So obviously I'm in the UK. I used a middleman here called Arc Grading. And when it came back and I noticed this, I reached out to them and they recommended we sent it back to PSA to be reviewed. Now, bear in mind, I sent this on Express and it literally took a week to grade. The review took 9 months. So I've only just got this card back last week from the review, which is mind-blowing because they don't have an insane backlog like they did in 2020. You can literally send cards to them on a bulk $15 submission service and they come back within 2 to 3 months. So crazy to think that this took 9 months for them to review, despite the fact that this was a $150 card grading service level that it was originally sent on. And yeah, this was the response here on the right hand side that I got back from them last week. So essentially they're saying, after completing the quality assurance review for the above cert, it shows that the area of concern was already present in our first view imaging. Based on this review of the images, we can confirm that the card was received with the issue when it arrived at PSA. And here on the left-hand side is the attached image of their first view imaging. Now, as you can see, it's not the best quality image. There's all these sort of marks. I assume that's on the lens or the scanner or whatever they use to take the image. But you can see the whitening, and in my opinion, that is exactly how I suggested that it came to you. Like, there we go, there's the card before. Yeah, matches up with their imaging of the card. The card that was sent back to them clearly has much more whitening on the card here and there than this one does, because this doesn't have the extra bit of whitening either. And here's a video of that card and the whitening. So as you can see, the edge is much longer and you can see that visible bit of whitening next to it as well, which is clearly not here on their first scan. So not only did it take them 9 months to review the card, but when it came to reviewing it, they've clearly done it so rushed and so quick that they fail to understand the actual issue. I don't think they've purposely lied about the damage. I just think that they've skimmed over the fact that I know there's whitening there. The issue was the whitening is bigger and there's more of it than there was when I sent it to you. And it took them 9 months to complete that. Not only that, they do the review and then just send it straight back to you. So this arrived at Art Grading in the UK. They then forward me this information from PSA. And it's like, if we wanted to sort of counter that and reject it, it means sending the card all the way back to them, which I can only imagine would take another 8, 9, 10 months. So personally, that's it. I'm done with this. I, tried the review process. It completely failed me in this circumstance. They've completely misunderstood. And the proof that they've given me clearly indicates that they have in fact damaged my card. As I said, I don't think it actually will or would have affected the grade itself. It's just, for me, this could have literally been any other card that I've submitted to PSA. And it turned out to be the first ever trophy card I've owned and got graded. I do understand mistakes happen, but like following the review process, you would hope there would have been some sort of accountability and just they actually would have spent enough time understanding the issue of the review rather than just being like, yeah, there's some whitening there. Yeah, there's some whitening in the card. Yep, done, send it back. So it's unfortunate, and I know these things do happen, but I guess I was just really unlucky that this happened to my first ever trophy card that I sent on a high tier submission to them, and it came back like this. So there you have it. There's PSA damaging my trophy card and failing to recognise the damage despite it being very clear, in my opinion, that it was done in their hands. So if you found that interesting, please hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.